Hey guys, at long last, welcome to my full series review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, Steel Ball Run. I started reading and reviewing JoJo in 2015, and here we are 2.5 years later, and I have finally finished Part 7, the most recent completed part of JoJo. This series is still ongoing with Part 8, but until Part 8 finishes, this will be my final JoJo review. So Steel Ball Run was written and illustrated by Hirohiko Araki, and it was serialized between 2004 and 2011. Not in Shonen Jump this time. See, Steel Ball Run shook things up a little bit, as it transitioned JoJo from being a weekly Shonen series to a monthly Seinen series. Part 7 also marked a new era in the story of JoJo, because for those who don't know, Part 7 does act as a reboot to the series. So our story kicks off in the United States in the year 1890. And it is here where we meet our fresh new JoJo, Johnny Joestar. Johnny was a horse jockey, okay? He liked to race those horses. Now the thing that sets apart Johnny and his alternate universe counterpart Jonathan is that Johnny, he's a bit of an asshole, okay? He's really unlikable at the start of the series. So unlikable that it gets him shot in the spine. So now he's still a dick, but he's bound to a wheelchair and is pretty much miserable. Things are about to change for Johnny though, because we see oil tycoon Stephen Steele starting up quite the interesting competition. He calls it the Steel Ball Run Race, a horse race across the entire continental United States, from San Diego all the way to New York City, for the prize of $50 million. Now that's a good bit of money, okay? You know, I would definitely suck a few dicks if it meant I could have $50 million. But you see, this is 1890, so of course it's worth just a little bit more than that. Anyway, so as you would imagine, people from all different locales, all different walks of life, travel to America to participate in this race. And one of these hopeful contestants is Gyro Zeppeli, an executioner from the Kingdom of Naples in Italy. Gyro is a master of the spin, this ancient power that he can harness through the use of his special steel balls. Now Gyro is seeking the money from this race to free a prisoner that he believes has been wrongfully convicted. Now before the race begins, Gyro and Johnny come into contact with each other. And by accident, Johnny ends up touching one of Gyro's steel balls, which causes this lovely shit to happen. Now Johnny's mind is blown when he realizes that the power of the steel balls gave him temporary mobility. They allow him to get onto his horse. So he immediately decides to enter the Steel Ball Run race, not seeking the money, but seeking more information from Gyro about the steel balls, and if there is a chance he will be able to walk again. So the race begins. Johnny and Gyro decide to form a team of sorts, as long as Johnny lets Gyro win, take first place in the end. And we get a good look at some of our participants. We of course have Poco Loco, the best JoJo character to ever exist. We have Mountain Tim. This guy looks pretty interesting. We got like the Josuke guy, of course, making an appearance again. We have Johnny's rival, Diego Brando. So the race begins, and there you have the plot for Steel Ball Run. Now, of course, things aren't gonna be that easy now. Just taking away the fact that this is a horseback ride across the United States in the 19th century, of course this is JoJo, so you know every single fucking racer has a stand power, and they're gonna do whatever they can to win at all costs. But also, there are some shady things going on behind the scenes of the Steel Ball Run race. Things that Johnny and Gyro will soon find out are much, much greater in value than $50 million. Oh boy, where do I even begin with this one? You know I love JoJo, okay? I've loved pretty much every part, even the weaker ones. Almost none of those parts even come close to how fucking amazing Steel Ball Run is. The story of a horse race across the country, you know, that doesn't seem that crazy. Araki takes the basic structure of this story and twists it in ways that you will never expect. He crafts this incredibly interesting, intricate, and deep story with so many layers. All of these brand new characters who, while some may be based on previous JoJo characters, they feel completely different. They have such beautifully crafted backstories which give them so much depth. He just takes all that shit, he injects it into this basic racing story, and it becomes something truly fantastic. And of course, being JoJo, we have tons and tons of brand new stand abilities. And my god, he fucking does it again. Every single part, Rocky really one-ups himself with the stands. I have no idea how he keeps doing it, how he keeps coming up with such creative ideas, but I'm convinced now that he could literally make a stand power out of anything and it be fantastic. See, Johnny's stand ability, which he soon unlocks, allows him to shoot his fingernails out, like use his fingernails as a gun. Who thought of that? And you ask any random person who hasn't read the series, they say, well, that's kind of a lame power, but it's used in such fantastic and creative ways. And Gyro's steel balls are so unique, they really add that extra spin to the fights. And there's just so many more I don't want to spoil, except for Heiau, which is the #1 stand of all time. And before we move on, I do have to note that this has one of the best endings to a manga series I have ever read. There were actually a few times in these final chapters where I verbally screamed. Alright, characters. Man. Now, Jojo has always been known to have some great characters. Now, usually they're not the deepest characters of all time, but it's more so the personality that makes up for it. This is different, though. You see, Johnny, he's kind of an asshole. And I'll admit, it does take a while to warm up to him. But once you learn about his past and the things that led him up to this point, you really start to grow attached to him. And he grows more and more throughout the series and eventually gets to the point where you can't help but love him. And this is greatly aided by his dynamic with Gyro Zeppeli, who has a significant amount of the spotlight in this series. Some would even argue he's the true main character of Steel Ball Run. Now, unlike Johnny, this guy's likable from the very beginning, but again, just like Johnny, he's a fantastic character. He is a lot more likable at first. The friendship that these guys share is really something special. Not that special, but you know what I mean. And we have some excellent side characters this time around. Oftentimes in JoJo, the side characters are hit or miss, but every single one here is super memorable. They have great powers. This is the longest JoJo part, so we do get some much needed development for a lot of these characters, and it really pays off in the end. Hot Pants, Mountain Tim, Lucy Steele, all fantastic, memorable characters. But of course, what is JoJo without its villains? And this is without a doubt the best cast of villains in the entire series. I'd argue one of the best casts of villains in manga, period. We have Diego Brando, okay, Johnny's rival. I don't think he really reaches the heights of, menacing evil mastermind like the original Dio, but him and his stand Scary Monsters are definitely a force to be reckoned with. But the minor villains are really memorable too. There's this one section called True Man's World, which I don't want to spoil. It's like 3 chapters. Holy shit, man, that was some peak JoJo. But of course, you have the main villain, who I haven't talked about so far because I really don't want to spoil who he is. But in my opinion, this man is the best JoJo villain ever. And not only is his stand incredibly creative, but it really shakes things up in the final parts of this series. So overall, this is just one of the best casts of characters I have ever seen in a manga series. And if things couldn't get any better than that, let's talk about the art. I won't waste much of your time. I've sung praise to Araki's art style before. I feel like he really perfected his style around part 5. Part 6 was just more of the same greatness. Like after part 6, I really couldn't see his art getting any better than it already was. But because Steel Ball Run was a monthly series, things are just as good as ever, except they're more detailed. Some of this shit is truly stunning to look at. The backgrounds, all the different environments they go through. I mean, they travel across the whole country. You'll see deserts, cities, forests, lakes, snowy areas. It all looks absolutely beautiful, especially in color. But this series also feels a bit more gritty. Being a seinen manga, all of the action scenes just feel a bit more brutal, like they pack a lot of punch. JoJo has always been bloody, but it definitely feels like things are a lot more intense here, which really adds to the suspense of the overall story. So some really, really stunning stuff here. Araki fucking does it again. Okay! So this is probably one of the most overly positive reviews I have ever given, but I really cannot find a single problem I had with Steel Ball Run. It was that good. Now, I love Diamond is Unbreakable with all my heart, and I didn't really think any part of JoJo would be able to surpass it. This is now not only my favorite JoJo part, but it's one of my favorite manga series ever made. I really feel like this series could stand alone as just a masterpiece of manga. It is so good. Nothing less than a perfect 10 out of 10. If you haven't gotten into this series yet, cannot recommend it enough. Absolute must read. The problem though, of course, you can't read it officially in English, and by the time it does get an English release, we'll probably all be dead. So the best I can say is support the series in English, buy those beautiful Jojonium volumes, show Viz that we really want to see more Jojo, let's speed up the releases, let's get all the other parts out, and you'll have to settle for reading online, which isn't all bad, because then you can read it in full color, and whoa! So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. Oh, it's been quite the journey catching up to JoJo. It feels great to finally be here. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts on Steel Ball Run in the comments below. And I'll see you guys soon, hopefully continuing the streak of greatness as I review Osamu Tezuka's Phoenix.
Can you see?